The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBank.
This is Petra Schwamarama speaking. How may I help?
The Spin-off presents Takeout Kids, a local documentary series that goes behind the counter to meet 4 young people growing up in their parents' restaurants and takeaway shops. Get a glimpse into the everyday lives of our takeout kids. Watch the full series today at thespinoff.co.nz/videos.
I am a chef, you know. Not like you, the only one.
Kia ora, welcome along to The Real Recap. This is your Married at First Sight Australia pop-up podcast, part of the Real Pod family. My name is Jane Yang, joined by Alex Casey, Duncan Grieve, and we are here to dissect, discuss, and another D word that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Do a shoey.
Do a shoey. That's exactly what we are here to do. Married at First Sight Australia is into week 2, and we've got our first dinner party this week. We've got confessions week, got another couple of marriages. It has been a week. It's been very full on. We've decided we're going to go couple by couple. So this is how we've arranged our notes, and we hope it doesn't all fall apart. So should we start with, who would you guys like to start with?
Can we start with Liv and Jackson?
We don't want to start with the weddings?
Yeah, but they got married.
Did they get married in this one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they did. Sorry, you threw me because I've written down Olivia. I'm not on a nickname basis with her yet.
I've given every Min and Jack. Not even Dom. I don't care.
Oh my
I'll call them
God!
anything.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
that's the name of my parents-in-law's dog.
there you go.
Anyway, okay, who should we start with?
Let's start with Al and Sam.
Al and Sam.
Salmonella.
Whoa, that's so good. Okay, Al is 25. He's a carpenter, self-described kid from Bondi that everybody loves.
I think you mean Chippy, Jane.
Oh, sorry, he's a chippy.
To use the local language.
Love Chippy. Love all of the Australian language. We said this last week, but it just does not quit.
If you were to rate yourself, what would you rate yourself out of 10? Because Al rates himself an 11 out of 10.
Al just rates himself, end of sentence.
He does have insecurities if he has to think long and hard about them.
Probably just my legs.
He's got 2 legs.
They're not as muscly as I want to meet. Is that a good answer? Oh, he's so good.
So good.
He's never been in a relationship before, even though the girls love him by his own admission. And Sam is a 27-year-old brand manager, and that's all I can tell you about her, I think.
Luxury brand?
Fashion brand?
Luxury brand manager. She had a long-term relationship and her boyfriend cheated on her.
Right.
And she's looking for a man. Perhaps
Which
not.
is why the experts cast her with a guy whose cooking repertoire is microwave, cereal, and that's it.
Hang on. I have questions. Is that microwaved cereal?
No, I think it's a comma.
Okay.
That's
You do
2
get
different
that
repertoire.
with Weet-Bix.
Oh, yeah.
People do that.
Yeah, that's where his fusion menu comes into play. Our sister is a raging babe, by the way. Get her together with Levi. She's a hottie.
Stunning sister.
Stunning.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Al busting through the doors of their wedding and like walking in like John Wayne.
He's got an amazing. Nikki was like, he looks like if you had like a cartoon figure from like the frickin', from basically anything and just animated them, like made them in real life, like his jaw,
Yeah.
how like finely, like everything is block colors. It's just amazing how he's a very specific looking dude.
And he is not even trying to be humble. He knows he's objectively good looking. I don't see it myself. I don't know if it's just a not my type thing, like that's what I'd say in a photo ranking, just not my type. I haven't spoken to him much. Or if it is the classic TV not doing him justice, because everyone else seems to think he's objectively
I think
a hottie.
he's objectively really handsome, but we do have a lot of other data on him which might make you sort of lean away.
That's true. That's true.
He's too handsome for me.
Really?
I don't like people that are too handsome.
Yeah.
But what about Levi?
No, Levi's perfect. Levi's perfect.
He asked Sam's friend if she was the mum.
Oh,
And when
Great start.
when she said no, I'm the friend, he said nothing.
yeah.
No, oh, sorry, or anything. Or I just assumed it was, I don't know what you would say there. To be honest, he probably did the right thing. Just keep the mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's just good advice for him at all times.
But then he also asked what her name was, and they're like, Sam. And he's like, oh, good, that's an easy name to remember.
He's real cute. He's definitely not right for Sam, but there's some kind of like golden retriever puppy energy to him that's quite irresistible, but very much not the I want to be married to this person
Yeah.
without having laid eyes upon them.
Yeah, especially when
before.
I want a mature person to be my
Yeah.
husband. Yeah.
What is schoolies?
Schoolies is it's a break, like a midsummer break, or it's a mid-year break or something, isn't it?
Sounds right.
Or end of the school year. It's like
I
spring
can weigh
break.
in on schoolies.
Okay, here we go.
Yay.
Now there's a man.
Basically, some of my family live in the Gold Coast, and my brother just went through this. It's like a rite of passage mixed with like a spring break type festival thing that happens over the course of about a week. And it's all of the graduating class of high school students. Basically, like in the Gold Coast, for example, they descend on Surfers Paradise. They'll like hire hotels, hotel rooms. They'll go in, get wasted drunk, party on the beach. It's a massive deal, and it happens every single year.
So
That's
it's
a
like
story.
O week. It's O week at Otago, but with more beaches and sunshine.
And sort of at the end of high school. So it's
Yeah.
like celebrating the fact that you're an adult, inverted commas.
So to still be talking about schoolies or making a joke about it at the age of 25 seems kind of...
Totally in keeping with everything else we know about him.
I don't know. I mean, 23 years ago I was on the tally and I still bark on about it. So fair play, in my opinion.
He just said so many cool things. Like when he talked about a margarita, and you're like, oh, yeah, he's a sophisticated guy. Likes yum. And he's like, yeah, with the crystals around the edge.
Yeah.
And she's like, you mean
He's
salt?
not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong. And
They
also,
could be more precise.
I thought it was sugar. I feel like I've been to places where when I get a virgin margarita, there's sugar on the outside. Or is that a mojito?
That could be a mojito.
Do they put like the sweet crystals on the outside of a mojito?
Sweet crystals.
Sweet crystals.
Okay, I take that back. That was fine.
Crystals.
Oh, I just snorted. I'm sorry. Okay, he started his vows with Eminem lyrics. Great start. She had some pink flags flying. So a pink flag, I think it's quite good.
Yeah,
not
it's a
quite,
great
not quite a
expression.
red flag. Not gonna label him as having red flags. Just some pink flags at this point.
Did he say knees weak, blah, 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 here to try my wife's spaghetti?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to make it work for the situation. You know.
It's just
a
nothing
real
says I'm
range,
really
eh?
committed to this relationship like doing a funny Eminem interpolation.
Also, we know he can't cook, so he probably is just sowing the seed there.
True.
You know, you're
He's
going to
just
be
hungry.
in charge of the spaghetti. He should have married Troy.
He should have. Well, we see he does do a
He does do a
ginormous
ginormous-
pasta dish
It's a
later.
monstrous pile of food, eh? Good on him.
Speaking of Troy, during the photos, Scott Down did some push-ups so that he'd look buff. We have seen that before in Married at First Sight, and that was when Troy was going when he was on his honeymoon with Trashley.
That's right.
And he stopped and said he wanted to look a bit more buff, so he went and did some push-ups. So that's exactly what happened here. Like, great callback.
Yeah, it's rough. I think Sam's actually handling it really well, given what she was after, what was clearly available in terms of the rest of the talent, and what she's got. But don't know about the longevity.
Bum did him dirty in the speeches. I think she was trying to
she
do it
did.
funny, like she was trying to be jokey and cute, and it was just a list of all the shit that he doesn't know how to do around the house.
Yeah.
Can't even open a box of laundry powder correctly.
They are true. To be fair, I just want to raise this point. I think that those boxes are poorly designed in general, and someone's designed it and everyone's followed suit on this weird like flippy lid thing. But you always get bits of powder that are caught in between the sides and the lid. So when you flip, it's always powder comes out in that first open. Okay.
I just want to say one more thing. I don't like what is underpinning his incessant want to kiss her. It grosses me out. Don't you reckon? It's a bit.
What is it?
Well, that it's a bit rape culture-y. You know, that he's always like, just got to get a kiss on her, boys. You know, that whole like laddish thing. Gives me the creeps.
Yeah, I think if I'm giving him a sort of a generous read, I think he's just like, I think he's a very man of simple ideas that just thinks girlfriend kiss.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like that will be the sign that she likes me if she kisses me back, you know?
Which, to be fair, like when you're watching it, that did feel like a kissy moment. Maybe that was the edit, whatever. When she shuts him down, they just did some really good excruciating silent stuff there.
Yeah.
It's very well made, this show. But I totally take your point, Alex. There is a bit of a like, do you want it for you or do you want it so that you can brag to the lads? Like when he gave advice to
oh, that was so good.
Oh my God.
We'll get there.
To Jack. Well, we will get there.
I do have one more. Sorry, one more. Al trying to talk about relationships is like me when I get too deep in a conversation about a movie I haven't seen. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, yeah.
He can't get out.
That's great. That's really good.
Okay, and in the photo ranking, what happened there? He put Celine at the top and called her a MILF.
That was very funny.
You don't hear MILF very much these days, do
But
you?
I don't know, you don't. But I don't think he knows her name. I wouldn't be surprised if he spoke to her and referred to her as MILF in front of her, just not forgetting that was a private name.
Well, we already know that he has trouble remembering names, which was why it's so happy that his wife was called Sam, because it's easy to remember. He is mortified. Poor Jack. He's mortified that Sam puts him on a par with Jack.
Yeah, he cannot handle it.
He cannot. It reminds me like last season it was Rusty. Someone put someone near Rusty, and it was like, and they were just like, it was Coco and Sam. Coco put her Sam like after Rusty, and he could not handle it. Well, we had this again.
This exercise is so appalling and so should not be, but man, it does give you some good material.
Just
really
put your partner at number one. It will avoid everything. Just do it.
On the 1.5? God.
Okay. Other marriage was Olivia and Jackson.
Let's just say that this is a very lovely couple, and if anything goes wrong, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah, so these are the Brett and Angel of this season for sure. The Cam and Jules, I think they're probably the only two successful couples in the franchise ever, so we'll just stop there. But she...
Jimmy and Carmen still together.
I don't know if I'd call that a successful couple.
Well, I mean, it probably is in terms of what is the metric. The metric is, are you still together?
Sure.
They definitely don't vibe like these two.
No. They're based on different things. Anyway, Olivia's story is that she had weight loss surgery at 22. She used to be overweight, had weight loss surgery, has a lot of self-esteem issues relating to having been overweight. And I just think the focus on her weight loss was all about image, and I don't love it.
I guess it's hard, right? Like, what is the role of these shows? Like, is it to sort of push society forward in terms of escaping these dangerous narratives, or is it Jane's doing this very derisive, like head wobbly thing at me right now, which is nice, or is it just to like express what society is and has been, and how people have internalized that? Like, I think I totally get the tension between, like, you know, you don't want to perpetuate these damaging myths, but if someone's walking around with this stuff, you can't authentically tell their story without expressing it.
Yeah, it's a hard one, but I don't know. I just think maybe I just don't know if there's a way for them to better handle the context of these things.
Maybe the experts could do some experting.
Experts, you know?
A little bit. What we want to know is how they feel about each other's looks compared to all the other random people's
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah.
And we just think that'll really advance their fucking well.
This is to fast track the tensions in their relationship.
There's definitely what could possibly go wrong in fast tracking things like that. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, she also was the primary caregiver for her dad who passed away. He was quite ill for like 7 years.
That's a long time to be
She's like
primary
a
caregiver.
saint.
Yes, she is.
I
And so is
did-
he. Two saints.
So she did that for 7 years. What was Andrew doing for 7 years? Sleeping with 350 women, but we'll get there.
One a week. Carry the one.
Just
do the
one a
maths.
week, every single week. Never, ever miss a week. 2 weeks off for Christmas and then another for Easter. Otherwise,
Yeah. Okay, Jackson is a plumber. He's very protective of his sisters. He's also got a really sad backstory. His mother suffered abuse from a partner, and he grew up witnessing that sort of stuff, protecting his mum, protecting his sisters. As a result, very protective of women in general. Did they get married in a library?
I thought maybe museum.
I feel like the reception, there were books in the background on the shelves.
I don't know.
I was just curious.
I wondered, did he have a upper lip piercing? Did you notice there was a slight hole there? And I thought, you never see that these days.
Oh, probably.
And he'd taken it out for the wedding. I don't know. I want to see.
I don't like that he keeps getting put last for looks. Admittedly, it's just a big bag of babes this season, but still, he's very good looking.
No, and I'll tell you why though, because a lot of the women ranked men on their personalities, and then they tend to put at the end the people they just hadn't had a conversation with, so they couldn't say. And I think he was so attentive to his own wife at the dinner party and so on that they just didn't get it. They just didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Well, if they had talked to him, they'd have heard lines like, "I've caught myself an absolute doozy here. She's not a guppy. She's a kingfish."
Wow.
So good.
Wasn't that Al? Who said that?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Maybe.
Whoa.
I don't think Jackson said kingfish.
I don't know.
I just can't imagine Al knowing about guppies.
Guppies, true.
Al is a guppy, and he is not self-aware, so he does not know about guppies.
I was quite intrigued by Olivia's mum.
Yeah.
She was an interesting character.
She was intense, right?
A line
Totally
of
agree.
questioning, do you do tennis or snow skiing? Snow skiing, like in particular.
Yeah.
And then do you have a dog? Is it male? I don't know what she's trying to get at there.
Yeah, I agree. I found something quite disquieting about her, and I couldn't put my finger on it.
I think she's just asking questions, you know?
Just the key question.
Jackson's mum wrote a lovely speech about him that he delivered, and that won the mother-in-law over. Mandy and Sandy, or Sandy and what was it? They're the two mothers that both have got rhyming names,
Yeah.
so perfect. These two, lovely connection. Love how ratchet Olivia looks in the first morning of her honeymoon. Just does not give a fuck about the cameras. It's great.
It's because they were shagged.
Yeah,
They were
had that
and then his
lovely
bed, no
sex.
less. So their honeymoon location was very
There was,
olden days.
yes, but there were. There's not a lot of honeymoon stuff in general this time around.
no.
Like they've really felt like they've compressed it, and
Yeah.
there's less couples, and it's just like the more we get into it, the more you're like, wow, this is real different.
Their Confession Week challenges were to watch Jackson's audition video, which just brought them closer. That's where we learned about his mum being the victim of physical abuse. It was very emotional, very lovely. And then they did a core values ranking in which they all ranked their core values exactly the same: good sex, wants children, money, occupation, looks, in that order.
Okay, are those values?
Yeah, I got questions about that particular experiment.
So we've got no religion, we've got no...
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge, yeah. Also, I don't see... It's really tricky to order these in almost any other way.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like, you're not going to put money at the top because you look like an asshole, or occupation, or looks. So you have to put wants children or good sex at the top.
Tamara might put money at the top.
Well, old Tamara, not new
Not
Tamara.
new Tamara.
Not
Not new
now
Tamara.
Brad's cracked her.
Okay. Let's move on to Ella and Mitch just quickly. Not too much to say here. They're still bonking like rabbits, but not really connecting on a deeper level. We didn't see a lot of them this week.
Oh, we found out what makes them angry.
Oh, littering. Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
he's not wrong.
I love the shallow lads.
I know. I just desperately grasping for some kind of depth when you've got a chance to ask a hard-hitting question that no one else has ever asked you. And you say, what's your most embarrassing moment, or what's the craziest place you've had sex?
Okay, so those are the two questions he came up with.
In the ocean. What about lube?
Yeah. Fair question.
Panicking.
Fair question. That to me, that seems like someone who has tried it and failed because of a
Just looking
bad
for
lube
advice.
situation. Look, I also Googled questions to ask your partner because I thought he Googled, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't know what to ask. And I did not get anything that came up that said anything like craziest place you've ever had sex. He would have found, like, there are unlimited sites that are like, what's your favourite memory of dating me? What food reminds you of me? What's the favourite thing that I do for you? All these kind of like get to know your partner questions or your relationship. So he saw those and then went,
Nah.
no,
That's not good to me.
no, not going to do that.
Did anyone notice his Otara homegrown vegetables t-shirt?
Yes. What's
No.
all that about? What's
Yeah.
all that about?
I did not notice. Too busy looking in his eyes.
It's quite a cool t-shirt. I
was a cool
wouldn't know how it got
t-shirt.
onto his bod.
Oh, we talked about Sam and Al didn't talk about the dinner party. Sorry, should we back up the truck or should we just do the dinner party?
He did a shoey.
He did a shoey.
What do we reckon?
Well, I reckon the only thing I took away from that is I think the mystery has finally been solved of Flappy Shoe. If you've been a listener of The Real Pop for a long time, you know we've talked about Flappy Shoe. The TLDR is that a long time ago we saw a guy walk in on Custom Street in Auckland City pretending like the sole of his shoe was not falling off when it was and it was flapping about and he was doing like a
he had no
goose
alternative.
steer. It was a living nightmare. And I think he did a shoey after work drinks and
The seal.
the seal of his shoe. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I just didn't, he didn't have a huge shoey energy, that guy. More of an old girl energy. Whereas the shoey was great for the party and for the TV, but I can understand when Sam is just desperately looking for signs of maturity that the shoey is an
Amazing.
icebreaker.
It was amazing that he was like, he couldn't stop himself doing a shoey. He just had to. The tension in the room was too much. And there's only one thing you can do.
I think he's brave. I think he knew he was risking his relationship at that moment and just thought for the greater good of the experiment, I need to break the tension. And it worked. And I think that she needs to see that side of him. She needs to see that he really put himself up there for the betterment of society.
If there was an omniscient God who looking down upon us, who knew exactly how many shoeys Al's done, how many shoeys do you reckon he's done?
361-ish.
351 a week.
One a week. For 7 years.
I agree
Since he
with
was
that.
18.
I agree
Since
with that.
schoolies. He's been doing one a week. Since schoolies.
I think he might have cracked a ton for just during schoolies.
Remember when Alex Casey tried to do a sandally?
I did a sandally. It
On
was
the
good.
podcast?
If you're going to do it, a plastic sandal, you know.
It's like a shiwi,
dry
isn't
wet.
it?
It is like a shiwi in reverse.
Actually, is a sandal an option? It's a
Shoey sounds a lot like shoey as well.
shiwi,
That's
alternative.
actually a
if
really
you-
good idea.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Okay.
2022.
I don't think we can copyright peeing into your sandal.
I think you can.
Not with that attitude.
I think you can. I'd also just like to say, Sam did judge Al for his shoey. You can't do a shoey and expect girls to think that's hot. But also, did you notice Sam's outrageous shoeys that were like bright red flaming cowboy boots?
No, I didn't.
Outrageous shoeys.
Oh, yes.
Later on in the hotel room. Bold choice.
Bold choice, and she's not going to win anyone with those either.
No.
I would argue that one Lily McManus would find someone doing a shoey highly attractive, and she's a great gal.
Is she still with old mate?
No.
They were broken up, so doors wide open, assuming that Al and Sam don't work out. Nearly forgot her name, which is crazy. It's so easy to remember.
Hi, I'm Brian Crump, host of Sci-Fi Sci-Fact, a new RNZ podcast in which we take some of science fiction's strangest ideas and explore if they could really happen. With the help of scientists from New Zealand's McDiarmid Institute, we'll look at all your favourite science fiction characters, from Wolverine to Rumpelstiltskin, Doctor Who to Luke Skywalker. You can find Sci-Fi Sci-Fact on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically anywhere you get your podcasts from.
When you choose to invest, your money has power. Avoiding companies that finance weapons production or ignore climate change is important. But impact investing goes beyond just avoiding harmful behaviours. It's an opportunity to invest in companies that are actually improving the world. Invest in a better future with the Harbour Sustainable Impact Fund. Grow your wealth and make a positive impact on the world. This is not personalised advice. A disclaimer and the product disclosure statement for Harbour investment funds issued by Harbour Asset Management is available at harbourasset.co.nz.
Okay, who next? God, I'm all over my
Holly and
document.
Andrew, is it time?
Oh, God.
my God.
Okay.
There are limits.
No peeking.
Oh my God.
He just offers up so much information about himself where nobody asked.
Yeah.
Not a soul.
No,
Oh, my God. Okay.
But you can't unknow it.
Okay. So Holly and Andrew have to write love letters. Sorry, not love letters. Well, letters to each other for their confession week. His confession is that he loves sex, has had roughly 350 partners in the past.
7 years.
In the past 7 years, sorry. He's lied to other partners about it, but he's ready
Well,
to
it
tell the
was
truth.
sins of omission more
Sure,
than lies.
sure. Look, no wonder he's had one-night stands that are more into him than she is. You know, he said that last week.
How could he not?
It's just statistics.
It's just the law of large numbers.
Even if she falls in, excuse me, even if she falls in the middle of the scale, then she's still beaten out a good 175 people, you know?
Yeah, this guy's real rough as guts. Partner.
Now, you know how she then says, look, I don't judge you, no judgment. How would you honestly feel if you found that out about your new husband or wife? Because I don't want to be judgy, but I feel like this is someone who really does enjoy sex a lot, and by the evidence presented with different people, probably, you know. So, how will they get bored?
Yeah.
Will they get easily
you ready
bored?
to
I
commit?
think that's a fear to have.
Yeah, and you've got there's a sort of some sense of like, are your sort of sexual metabolisms compatible? Like that's a quite a specific fact for your husband. You know, like you've got to be sort of wired in a similar way. I would have thought.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I have so many questions about one a week. I want to know how many how much was it like the crossover? Is it like one different person? I mean, is he doing it more than once with anyone? Or is it all just like one a week? And is he about to leave the show and he just had a gap in his calendar for this week? You know, because they did have sex.
That's
So it's
true.
just like, oh, got a gap.
Check that off. If he misses one, does he have to play catch up?
Yeah.
Presumably,
Did you notice his ears?
he's got
Yeah, he's
what they
got-
call
What's that about?
colloquially called cauliflower ears.
Is that from
Rugby.
American football?
Well, I wouldn't think so because you get it in rugby from scrummaging.
Ah. Could he have
like,
it from sex?
Oh my god!
Possibly, but not from pegging. So just
Oh my god!
Okay.
No peeking.
to be clear, literally everything else.
But hang on, I didn't know what pegging was, but now I know. Then he said he was making a joke. So does that mean he isn't pegging?
I think he's just trying to get everything on the table and see what sticks.
Also across 5 continents, by the way. Those 350.
God.
That's 350
Man, I
60
reckon
times.
Holly is going to need to burn a lot of sage to get all the Andrew.
It is sage
there.
field. She wants to have a baby. Now, she's had some, she knows that she's not got a lot of eggs left. She's done some testing. This isn't the first time we've heard someone come onto the show wanting to have a baby. In my mind, I'm like, this is very fucked up of the experts to put these two together. Like, this he's very ready to share information about how much he loves sex and how often he's having sex. Surely that came up at some point. We definitely know that her wanting to have a baby came up, unless the experts were just like pure maths, you know?
Yeah.
He loves to have sex. She wants to have baby. They've got to have a lot of sex to get a baby. It's perfect, you know?
Well, it does feel like the level of expertry that is going on here.
Or, as I have said, they're both actors.
Well, we know she is.
I'm not normally on this actor buzz.
We know that she is.
There's something
Yeah, but 10 years ago,
strange.
two roles.
She's got an IMDb.
But it's
does have
pretty
IMDb.
thin.
I think that
I think it does explain the way that she speaks and everything, though.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a performance element to it that you don't get with other people.
Sure, but I do also think that her emotions around wanting a baby and his reaction to that seemed extremely real.
Very well performed, if fake.
Yeah. Another note, Andrew. when they said this is for the first time ever, he's missing his daughter's birthday. It's her third birthday.
Yeah.
She's had 2.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, let's not get too excited about
Also,
it.
have you ever seen someone try so hard to squeeze tears out of their eyes? He got there at the end and I was like, yes,
He
buddy.
looked like that meme of that kid in class. He's like got a vein popping out of his head.
He was trying so hard, and he was not going to give up until he got there. She made him the most horrendous looking
Was that
cupcakes.
just raw batter?
It wasn't. I did study them. When she was putting what turned out to be the icing in, I thought she was putting batter into the
God's
cupcake
sake.
cases, but it was a very batter-esque type icing. The cupcakes themselves very flat.
It looked like she was trying to approximate what happens if your 3-year-old makes you cupcakes.
Yeah, that's exactly what she did, and she did a great job.
And she also only gave him like 3.
Yeah, because it's her third birthday, and she's very upset and wants to eat the rest.
Yeah. Right. Fair enough.
Rough as guts couple.
Yeah, and there obviously there's some yelling, and he walked out and he was like, "You can send your stuff to me, I'm going home," and then proceeded to move into another apartment, probably on the same level.
I didn't like also when he said, when they're having their big fight and she was reminding him that he had already said to her that morning, "I don't want to waste your time." And how she characterized that as he's out of the relationship. And he just said, well, you perceived it that way.
Oh, yeah. He's doing
I hate that.
This guy is extremely gaslighty with his, I'm just being honest. We know from the previews for the commitment ceremony that the experts are going to take him to task, which is great.
Him and Selen should be put together because they're both like just heinous gaslighting.
But can you imagine what happens when a
monsters.
gaslighter gets together with a gaslighter? What happens? Is it an explosion?
Hopefully.
Okay. And the experts can use that line if they want to. Shall we go to Anthony and Selen?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, these two are just an absolute
Selen.
train wreck. Well,
What
she's a
a
train
piece
wreck.
of work.
Yeah. She's a mean lady.
She's a really mean lady.
Okay, so their confession. Should we talk about dinner party first? Because that's really where we saw them first, isn't it?
Yeah.
They came to the dinner party separately.
And she got to work.
She did.
Immediately.
Yeah, she's campaigning.
Spinning the narrative.
Said to the
Campaigning,
camera,
campaigning.
I don't want to throw him under the bus, then proceeded to go down to Richie's, hire a bus, pull it up, grab him and just toss it underneath and roll over a few times.
Yes.
She went on a campaign to smear him before he arrived.
But Jane, he left.
He did, yeah.
He left.
Yeah. Do we care about anything that led up to the point to where he left, or do we just focus on the fact that he left?
Don't try and bring up all that up.
No.
The only thing that matters is that he left.
He left.
Yeah.
And that is not how a man acts, Jane.
Oh, Selen. I don't know. This couple is horrible to me. I just can't.
Well, no,
and it's not
that's not
Anthony's
true.
fault.
Anthony's not horrible. Anthony is extremely patient.
Yeah. He does
Anthony's
well.
the ultimate high road. He will never bow to Selen. Like, he could be like, you treated me like shit. You said I was a princess, all of this stuff. And he just hasn't. He's just been like, I'm going to stay true to myself.
Yeah.
Trust the edit, trust the process, trust the footage.
Trust the edit. Oh my God.
But I kind
Madness.
of respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even at the dinner party when she'd already been to work and then it came up at the table that she'd been to work, convincing everyone he was an asshole. And he just still took the high road and would not give his side of events without speaking to Selen first. Totally did a 180 on Dominica at the dinner party.
Oh, we have our Cyclone Cyrell.
Yeah, she's, I liked her last week and this week I'm gone right off.
Oh, are we moving to them?
No.
What intrigues me is how I didn't realize that she had this underlying allegiance with Selen. It doesn't add up to me. Like, they seem so different.
Yeah, I think it was
Min, my best friend Min.
at the Bucks and Hens nights, which were, by the way, complete non-events. Those two were first in, and I think they made reference to that that they clicked straight
Right.
away. Unlike Gonzo and Sam from last season, who were the first two to arrive at the Bucks party. Anyway,
Hey, can we talk about the mystery head wound?
yes.
Yeah.
Why was it not addressed?
There's a lot of weird stuff happening off camera, like the kayaking. And
Yeah.
most of the honeymoons, it feels a little bit New Zealand MAFS in terms of there are just these mysterious things that either aren't referred to or they talk about in post that seem really significant in terms of the context of their relationship, but you just don't see them. Maybe that's a COVID thing, I don't know.
Yeah, we need to know more. Maybe it's in the after dark version of the show. Now let's talk about the phone. Her being on the phone during the audition video.
Oh, the pain.
Okay, this was definitely an edit though.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. I rewound and I watched the shot of her. There was a back shot where you could see, because you're like, oh, we can't even see the TV in this shot. Is she really on her phone? And then handily, there's a back shot that shows the TV, her on her phone. He's not there in that shot. He's not even in the room.
That's a mean edit.
So I don't know if afterwards they've gone, oh, we just need to get another shot of you on your phone, or if that just didn't happen like that at all.
Certainly she didn't have her phone on silent because it was making all the phony sounds.
That was so great. that was honestly the edit of the week.
Yeah.
Was, him like looking at his video, like, very deep in thought, and then they just pan the camera over to her on her phone, and you can hear the little clicking noises slightly before it gets to her. It was beautiful. Anyway, that's them. Dom and Jack, we may as well talk to them.
Oh my God.
That light mask in bed, no, never. That's not, you can't do that.
It's very
Why
frightening.
not?
Because it's bad enough when someone's got their bloody phone out and with the brightness turned right down,
True.
bright red bloody terrifying
It is
mask on your
funny,
face.
though.
It is funny.
She's got great skin. Gotta admit.
Intimacy has fizzled between these two.
The sex chat is really brutal.
It is.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like this before on television, I don't think.
No.
On a reality show.
No.
The
Particularly the period sex.
stuff.
Period sex. Yeah.
It's so intimate.
Okay. Where do you stand, folks? Is it unreasonable for him to not want to do it when she's on a period?
I don't think that he doesn't want to do it. I think that he assumes that she wouldn't want to do it. Because I do
It's
think
not
there's a social
unreasonable for him to
expectation.
assume.
Yeah.
I think that's probably majority opinion.
I don't think that she allowed for that in any way. That's the problem here, is that she just assumed that what she was comfortable with, that, there was a lack of communication on it.
Yeah, but if she were his sort of implying that he was unaware that she was, making advances is, I don't know, it's kind of implausible as well.
Yeah, totally. I think he probably just didn't want to say.
So I don't imagine with Dom you're ever worrying what she's up to.
No, but I think that he probably didn't want to say that, knowing there were cameras in the room filming, being like, I was just thinking that maybe because you were on your period, it might be a bit messy or something. He probably didn't want to say that because he didn't want to out her as having her period on the telly in case she didn't want that outed.
Yeah.
Or did he just really need some advice from Jackson?
Probably.
He needed the lads panel.
He needed.
And of course, Al, when he raised their shoe, Al went, oh yeah, of course, they get moody and shit.
That is amazing.
And what's the prescription though?
Get on the piss and watch a movie.
Movie and some liquid courage.
Tell you what, it worked though, didn't it?
Movie.
It worked, didn't
What
it?
kind of movie are we talking about?
Carrie? Jackson gives good advice to sit down and listen to her explain that he needs to work on some stuff, and they do end up having a lovely period sex.
And he lasted a whole 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I still like Dom. What's the deal? You guys?
I didn't like the way that she came in hard on Anthony, because I'm an Anthony empathizer, at the dinner party without getting his side of the story.
But she's been manipulated
whatsoever.
by the devil.
She has. But Ella also, they tried to, Celine tried to manipulate everyone, and Ella put her, with I'm going to reserve judgment until I've spoken to Anthony. How would you feel if he came in here saying this stuff about you?
You're a fiery Italian.
She is a fiery Italian. I've got some pink flags. Let's put it that way. This episode gave me some pink flags. Who else have we got to speak about?
We've got to speak about Brenton, Tamara, and Mitchinella, and Selena and Cody. But I think we should do them last.
No, we spoke about Mitchinella already. Remember his questions?
Yeah, too. It's just not a lot going on.
Brenton Tamara's list rules: no makeup on the bed and pillows, no fake tan in bed, clean hair / brush, personal items - arrangements, and clean up after ourselves.
Personal items arrangements.
No idea.
What's that about?
Don't know.
What's the dash?
Maybe is that referencing condoms? You make your own personal arrangement with your own arrangements. I don't know. Is it you arrange your cosmetics on this side and
I
I'll
keep them straight. Yeah.
Seems a weird thing to have to write down. They have problems with mingling
Brent's a weird
personal
guy.
items.
Brent is a weird guy, but I actually think it's quite a good idea to set out some basics of how you'll live together. But going in, it'll just if you both agree to that, then it'd solve a lot of arguments.
I think no fake tan in bed's a hard one because, like, makeup, you can take that off. You can't take your fake tan off. And so it's basically saying don't wear fake tan or don't sleep in the bed.
Could be too late.
Yeah.
Someone like tomorrow. I don't understand fake tan. Does it just perpetually rub off?
I think, some brands more so than others, I think is the thing here. Okay, we watched Tamara's audition video. Her friends would describe her as a bitch. She doesn't want to be with someone who doesn't have a good career or has no money. Is not interested in fake design clothes or an ugly car.
Real specific stuff, eh?
And she definitely would have been prompted in the interview for this. Like, what do you mean?
Wants to get on the show fundamentally, so it dials it up.
Yeah,
of course. This really put Brent off. But her explanation is she doesn't want to have to be responsible. I mean, I think we can read between the lines, fiscally responsible for someone else.
Yeah, it sounds like she's had like a bad boyfriend who's sort of,
I bought all of that. She was crying a lot.
Yeah, I bought all of that because I've been there myself. So, yeah, I bought all of that.
I think there's something kind of lovely happening out of these two.
Yeah.
That they're sort of getting over some kind of aspects of one another on TV that they could probably have been held back by in relationships for a long time. It's one of those rare ones where you're like, oh, this show actually does have some redeeming qualities, not just being like cracking entertainment.
Worked for them. They engaged in intimacy, is how they put it. And also Brent had tuna and eggs for breakfast. What did you think about that, Alex? I know what you think about it. Horrible.
I don't like that, Brent.
Take it outside.
He did. She made him go out she made him go out on the balcony with it.
But just how,
Celine had eggs too.
Yeah, but that was sort of I didn't love that. I don't like a hard-boiled sliced up like that. That gives me the creeps. But how much do you love tuna? You just have to have it in the morning inside on a TV.
I tell you what, a tuna melt bagel is bliss.
Get on the balcony.
Out you go.
Get on the balcony.
In to Brent's credit, though, he did do that real funny thing where he was pretending to have a wank, and it was like the massage gun.
Oh, yeah. Those massage guns have you used one of those before?
No.
Yeah, they're fucking
They're
intense.
really
good?
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
not an athlete. I don't really need it, but
I don't know. I get pretty sore walking up the stairs, so I feel like I'd probably need it more than most. Okay, Cody and Selena. Oof. Okay, we don't have to talk about anything really, I think, apart from the big bad thing. They had the hard-hitting questions task, and it's at this point she asks him if it's her nationality / ethnicity that turns him off. And his response is, it's I think it did. It did play at it initially. I'm not racist by any means, but it's not something I'm familiar with. Yeah, short answer is it probably did.
This was just so
brutal.
So,
and I'm open to it. Why does he keep saying it?
I know.
Oh, just
I normally go for
awful.
beach blonde. She's
blonde.
She's blonde. Yeah. Yeah, but it's just everything is terrible and I think made worse by the fact, and as she said, she's made it very clear that the way she looked, her physical features, her Asian features, have been the target of bullying all her life, and that she's very sensitive to it. And that for him then to, I mean, I don't even want to say, even if you do think that, keep it to yourself, because let's just not think that. But do you not have any idea of what saying something like that on the television, especially, this is going to fuck him for a long time.
Well, and we'll just continue the fucking of her when this was an opportunity to kind of be open. There's this thing that
I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying that he should have kept it to himself and not revealed himself on the television because it's going to ruin his life. I just can't understand the reasoning.
I do think there's this thing which both him and Andrew have said where it's I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
And and there's that amazing line in All Too Well 10-minute version, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. Where these, and it does tend to be guys are they'll say something that is just mean and cruel and that you shouldn't feel at all. But even if you somehow feel it, you should understand that that comes from the worst place inside you. Work on that. Don't just blurt it out there and be like, well, it's just feelings. No one can help their feelings. Well, you actually can. You can work on that shit.
I think that he may work on it. I think there's a lot more remorse and understanding of doing a bad thing with him than there is with Andrew. So
True.
I do want to see what happens here. It'd be interesting how they deal with it in the commitment ceremony. But she can't unhear that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that
No.
will plague her.
I just can't believe it's like if you start a sentence with "I'm not racist," but she stop talking.
Stop talking.
Obviously, stop talking.
And do some self-reflection
Something
in
else.
general.
And maybe take off your weird cap. I don't know, just a style suggestion. Just a
And
style
also,
suggestion.
don't be playing with your foot the whole time you're doing it.
Yeah.
Gross. On top of it. I mean, if ever there was a deal breaker, that was it.
So can I talk? So I've got a friend of mine, like a close friend of mine. I was talking with about this. Had a good friend of theirs who almost made it onto New Zealand MAFS, and apparently in the final stages was shown pictures of some people of different ethnicities and asked to essentially kind of say, are there people here that you wouldn't be into because, like basically to try and avoid the chance of something like this happening.
And so in this situation, there's a suggestion that perhaps they've used it deliberately.
That's my concern. Like, I would really like to know, because I assume that is part of the Bibling of this thing. And if that is the case, that theoretically should be done to protect people from being exposed to racism within the context of their relationship. Like, that feels sensible. So, I mean, and so either he's, not answered or, kind of, whatever, or production has deliberately said some drama this way come, which is just even more unpleasant.
It's unthinkable. And I think that the really sad thing is the focus is going to be on him and on him trying to redeem himself. And no matter how, he may come out of this with a redemption arc, come out glowing. This has just fucked her again.
Yeah.
Totally.
You can't unfuck.
Well,
that.
and like hundreds of thousands, not millions of other hers all over the world
Yes.
who watch it and whatever they are, just feeling that, again, the feeling that like second guessing every kind of romantic interaction that doesn't go this, like what was underneath that.
Totally.
It's just like the thing that kills you.
He can't come back from this, right?
I don't know.
I'm hesitant to say because I've just seen this is the craziest fucking show.
Yeah.
Where we are all gaslighted as we watch it.
That's true.
And my only defense is it helps me to understand what to look for and not go for it in other people. And I feel like I learned what gaslighting was through, and it was quite a valuable lesson to learn, truly.
I mean, this is a complicated show, right?
Yeah.
Like, it clearly has social value in some aspects. It's clearly damaging in others. There's just a lot going on. This episode, to me, feels like it's not quite the Real Housewives situation, but it certainly has potential to be a lot of different things. I'll be interested to see how it lands.
I think the worst thing is a lot of people will be able to relate to his way of thinking. So whereas the Real Housewives, it was very clear, like that is not okay. Whereas this, I feel like there may be even people out there who kind of almost would try and defend him, and I just feel like that's kind of dangerous. Yeah. Hell of a note to end on.
Yeah. What's coming next week?
What's coming next week? I forget. What's coming next week? Commitment ceremony.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's clearly someone who says stay when they have no...
Oh, yeah.
I think Andrew's going to do something crazy.
I think Andrew's going to be a stayer.
Maybe he's written leave and then crossed it out and put stay on in a callback to Gonzo. Anyway, we look forward to that. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much to T.I. here, who's been in the studio. And have you been watching T.I. here? Have you been watching the show?
I truly haven't. But I've been Googling pictures of the
you've been
contestants while you
Googling.
guys
Good
are
on
there.
you.
Good on you. Yeah. No, fair play. He does have a life and work to do. So
Don't see that stopping us watching this really, really long show. No, that's the right thing to do, I hear.
hey, thank you guys for listening. Do make sure that you share this podcast with your friends, rate and review us on your favourite podcast platform, and we'll be back next week with more drama, more dinner parties, more doing shoeys.
No pegging.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.